Welcome to the Northstars Show. Teemu Selanne episode, Matt Sundin, and Unlucky 13. We were supposed to do this one last week, but Paul lost his keys, and the camera was gone, so we couldn't do it. Unlucky 13. We should have known. We should have skipped right to 14. If anybody finds Paul's keys, tweet at him. Look for him on Twitter and just let him know where his keys are. Be fantastic. Get a hold of me too. Yeah, at Paul Anderson. Yeah. I don't know. He's on Facebook. Whatever. You'll find him. Yeah. Instagram. There's only one thing he Snapchats: pictures of Star Wars movies. Chewbacca. That's about it. Coming up on the show, we have a talk with Carter Anderson. He's the only kid from Thompson that made the hockey in the Manitoba Games. He's the only boys hockey player we got. So we have a little talk with him. Our North Star know-it-all or insider, Stuart Walter's here. What do you like better, know-it-all or insider?
Insider.
Everybody likes insider. I'm the only one. He doesn't like it.
Insider's better.
Yeah, all right. North Star Insider. He talks to Coach James Buchanan. And we're going to do a 2-on-1 with Mikey Baron, who had the overtime winner. We'll ask you about those games right away. And Johnny Saunders jumped in on that one, too. We tried to get new captain, Jerome Linklater, which, fantastic. Good for him. It was nice to see him with the C, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Looks fantastic, but he's a little camera shy. Hey, Hanky. Looking a little shy, so we brought Johnny in. He's not shy at all.
Yeah. Johnny likes to talk.
It was good, actually. The bling, I like the earrings.
Yeah.
That's really something. So you were down there on the weekend. You guys went down south for 3 games, got the OT winner, and then had a couple more. Tell us about the first one first.
Okay, well, the first one was against Eastman. We beat them 5-4 in overtime, and Mikey got the game-winning goal. And
Big Sully, according to him. The guys in the 2-on-1, maybe not such a big Sully.
Yeah, that was my first game back in 3 months, I think it was. So yeah.
Goal for you?
Yeah. No, assist. No? Yeah. My first assist, actually, of the year. Yeah. My first point of the year, actually. So
23 games off. You're well rested.
Yeah, you know.
Nice to get that win, and the shootout winner right before Christmas. So rallying a little bit here at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was good.
Guys are on a roll. Then the second game against the Bruins didn't go quite as well.
Yeah, it was a 13-3 loss against the Bruins. We came out, they put it 7 up in the first, and then we just couldn't catch them. They were just too fast out there. It was a tough game to play.
Sometimes they get away on you a little bit. And then Sunday afternoon was better, so still down south. Tell us about that one.
7-3 against Interlake. Yeah, we lost 2 though, so I don't know. It was,
Kind of stinks. Was that one a little bit closer? Did you feel like you're in the game, or again, did they kind of get away on us?
Into the game, actually. Like, everybody was going. We couldn't get it in. We couldn't, I don't know. Nothing was working. Everybody was going, though.
It's good. And you're back home this weekend, right?
No, we're out of town this weekend. We're playing Brandon, Southwest, and I think Parkland. Yeah.
Fantastic. Best of luck. That's why we brought in an insider, because I always lose track of where everybody's playing. He actually watches the games. It's pretty cool. It's a good idea.
Done. Yeah, for sure.
Tanner Pilon, thanks for telling us what's going on. We're hoping that you don't need another 23 games rest before you get another point, maybe a couple points this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't have another 23 games to rest, so... Yeah, hopefully everything's good.
Season's starting to run out. Thanks for joining me, telling us what just happened here. Coming right up, it's our North Star Insider. Insider.
Yeah.
Stuart. Insider. I like Insider.
Yeah, I like Insider.
I only like it because I'm trying to fit in with everybody else. I'm bandwagoning. I really like know-it-all. Our North Star Insider right here, Stuart Walter, and Hank Thompson, right here on the Northstars Show.
Stuart Walter here with Coach Vallance. It was a mixed bag going in. You didn't really know what to expect, especially not having seen these teams since earlier in the season. Coming out with the overtime win on Friday against Eastman, how good was it to have Tanner Pilon back in the lineup for that win?
It was good just having his experience and like his leadership on the bench. Tanner's he needs to catch up with some physical stuff right now, but having him on the bench, putting him in sparingly, he has a role to play for sure.
It can be a bit difficult, especially with the age group of the North Stars, to keep things positive. They're really impressionable at the age there, between 15 and 17. What's something you can do as a coach and as the coaching staff as a whole to try and keep spirits up?
The age group they are, it really isn't that hard to keep them positive because they're not smart enough to get down on themselves about losing. Like, they can lose a game and half hour later you'd think they won the game. Like, that hasn't been a problem all year. It might be a problem the other way. You'd kind of like them to show a little more emotion sometimes and get a bit and like feeling bad for losing, but I mean, it's good that they don't, because they'd be feeling bad quite a bit of the time this year.
The team is down a goaltender this weekend. Braden is a bit injured right now, so you're going to have to rely on Kean. Is there any worry that he might not be able to handle the 3 games in a row? I know it's usually one goalie one night and the next the other.
Yeah, well, Braden's been playing exceptionally lately. He's kind of found his rhythm. Like he's the Braden we've seen in camp lately. And unfortunately, right when this is happening, he gets hurt. And at the same time, Kean's been struggling a bit. So hopefully this opportunity he has to play 3 games will get him back on track and get his mind back in the game, because he seems like he's been a bit distracted lately and struggling a bit. So this might actually help him, not having the thought of Braden taking a spot away from him might give him some confidence and put him back on track.
Down south again for 3 games. You have Brandon Southwest coming up with the first 2 ones. How are you feeling going into those games?
Well, Brandon's going to be tough, but we play them pretty tough. And it's been like that all year, like the Eastman, Brandon. We play well against those teams. It's the teams that, in my opinion, we should be beating is the ones we struggle against. So I anticipate we'll play not bad against Brandon, and I'm hoping we carry that on against Southwest and then on the Parkland.
That's the 3rd game of the weekend against the Parkland Rangers. Those ones are usually very physical affairs. Do you anticipate more of the same going down to their barn?
Oh yeah, they don't like us and we don't really much like them. So, we're both, over the years, we've both been struggling. They struggle, we struggle, and so it's turned into a bit of a rivalry between the 2 of us.
Well, best of luck down south, Coach.
Thank you.
This is a minor hockey moment, an exploration of all the things that happen in and around minor hockey. Carter Anderson is with me today. Carter, you got chosen to play in the Manitoba Games. You're the only guy in Thompson that's going to be playing hockey in the Manitoba Games, so we're really happy to have you on the show. What team are you playing for right now?
I'm currently playing for the Norman Wolves.
Norman Wolves, and what position do you play?
I'm number 6 and I play left wing.
And the Wolves have had an okay year so far, right? Doing better than the Northstars, maybe not quite as good as you would have liked. 4 or 5 wins, something like that?
Yeah, I think we have 6 now.
6
yeah.
wins?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it scores. Sounds like every time you're on the ice, just goal. Well, maybe. So you got chosen to play on the Manitoba Games. Can you tell us how they did the selection for the Manitoba Games?
I think there was just scouts down south from Hockey Manitoba that chose me and 3 other guys from Norman Wolves.
From the team. So overall, 120 Bantam players got picked. So you're one of the best 120 Bantam players in all of Manitoba, along with 3 of your teammates. Who are those teammates?
Chase Berthollet from the Paw, and Keelan Holland from the Paw, and Justin Lees from Flin Flon.
So 2 guys from the Paw, 1 from Flin Flon, and you. Those are the 4 people from the north, and then the rest of your team in the Manitoba Games is made up of some of those other 120, so kids from down south and things like that, right?
Yeah.
You've been playing hockey for a long time, quite a while. Been seeing you play, and you've always had some good success. So you've been to a few tournaments before. What's the biggest tournament or event that you've ever been to?
There's a couple big ones, but the most memorable one for me is probably the Mun Cup. I really like that one.
What a fantastic answer. And if my memory serves me correct, Paul and I actually got a chance to call that game. You guys won the Mun, right?
Yes, 1 year, yeah.
Super duper. And there's nothing more fun than playing in front of your friends and family, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is great. And so you're going to get a chance to do that again here at the Manitoba Games. Manitoba Games are going to be such a huge event here, not just for hockey, but we've got girls hockey, we've got 14 other events. So are you looking forward to taking in some of the other events and all the stuff that happens around the games?
Yeah.
Is there something that you're really thinking about checking out other than hockey? What are you most excited about for the Norman Games?
I think badminton. I really want to watch badminton because my sister's in it.
Good.
Yeah, go cheer on her.
Super. That's a nice shout out to your sister. Maybe we'll get the 2 of you guys on the show. That's pretty cool. I don't know how many other brother-sister combos. I don't think Thompson has any other in the games. Do you know of any others?
No, I'm not quite sure.
We'll have to check that out. One last thing for the Manitoba games, it's kind of neat for the Thompson athletes. You have to stay in the village with your team, which I think is great. It's almost like the NHL. You know, sometimes when they're on a playoff run, they all stay in a hotel even though they're in their home city. So it's kind of like that. Are you looking forward to that? A little nervous about it? Do you care? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm one of the younger guys on the team, so it's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but I'll get used to it.
You'll get it. So you're 13, right? And most of the kids on the team are 14?
Yes.
So pretty neat that you got chosen and that you're going to be, is it your elementary school you'll be staying in? You go to Riverside, right?
I think we're staying at Burntwood. Burntwood Elementary, yeah.
So close.
Yeah.
Carter Anderson, best of luck in the Manitoba games. We're going to be watching out for you and the rest of the guys on Team Norman. We'll watch for your sister in badminton too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me. That's a minor hockey moment. Here we are with the 2-on-1, Mikey Baron. I was already into Johnny Saunders. It's like you guys are Brangelina. Mikey and Johnny all together. Monty Baronders. Anyway, we're doing the 2-on-1. Before we get to that, Mikey, we got a win on the weekend, and you got the winner in OT. First, tell us about the goal, and then tell us about the really magical piece of that goal.
Well, Fo just gave it to me in the neutral zone, and I just kind of skated in. And that guy was moving with me to block the shot, so I just changed the angle a little bit and then put it above the goalie's shoulder. And the guy was in the way, so I didn't get to see the puck go in the net, but it was a good feeling. And all the magic was in JL Taguna's stick. Broke 2 sticks in 2 shifts and ended up playing the rest of the game with his, and it worked out well for me.
No kidding, that's huge. And did you keep using the stick the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, I did.
How'd JL and his dad feel about that? His dad's buying sticks for both of you now?
Who knows? I'd like that.
It's good, a little bit like the story in the Jets. Who was it? Trouba? Here we go. How did you feel about lending him the stick?
Oh, I think he was going to get a Gino after I lent him the stick, you know. Just left a couple of my magic on it.
a little special magic in the stick. I like that. These guys threw me for a loop, but it's good to have you in the shot. I really, I appreciate that. You gonna let him use it for the rest of the year, or is that it? It's over now.
When I feel like scoring again, I'll take it back.
That's how it goes. Did you guys see the Jets thing with Trouba where he grabbed that rookie stick? Same kind of story as the two of you?
I haven't seen that.
Don't know what I'm talking about? There was a call up from the Moose that left his stick in the hallway. He was like practicing with it but not playing, and Trouba grabbed his stick, and then he had a great weekend too, yeah, so, and not giving it back. It was some weird name, I don't know, like Zippy or Lala or something like that. Check it out, YouTube it. Johnny, you had a bit of a good week. Jump in here. You had a bit of a good weekend too. A couple of goals, and felt pretty good about yourself. Tell us about the weekend.
It was good. We won. I scored 2 goals. Yeah, both snipes, top corner. Yeah, that's all I got.
Of course, 2 goals sounds pretty good, but then you tried to poke a guy and got into a bit of a dust-up and booted out, right? You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I just hit him, and some other guy came at me. Then I just punched him. He was mad. Yeah.
JL, good play, do you think, poking that big guy, or was he maybe in over his head?
I think that guy was over in the head trying to go after Johnny. Johnny's a big guy. Has hands too.
Good hands around the net and good hands when he's got no mitts on top of him. It was going to be a 2-on-1. We're going to do a 3-on-1. We brought in JL for this one. So 3 of us picking on Mikey. We're going to ask you some questions, try to put you on the hot seat here a little bit. Christmas was a little while ago, but this is our first show since then. That's why I got my Christmas sweater on for this one. What's the best gift you got for Christmas?
I'm going to have to say either my 1X Lite, which I broke, or my shoes.
Kind of shoes?
Adidas Ultra Boosts. I'm not wearing them now, but
no. Those don't look at all like Adidas Ultra Boosts. And I don't know if Coach would be too impressed with you guys getting cold feet before the game, but Johnny didn't have cold feet when he took on the big guy in the game, though. So good work. What questions you got for Mikey?
Favorite movie?
Haunted House 2.
At least it wasn't Step Brothers. Everyone says Step Brothers. JL, you got one for him?
How do you like my 1X Lite?
It was a good stick, to be honest.
Pretty sweet snipe. You guys will be sharing a stick. You'll be handing it off on the bench.
Yeah. That'd be shit, yeah.
That'd be all right. If you could spend one day with an NHL player just hanging out and spending the day, who would it be?
Patrick Kane.
Wow. Because?
He's my favorite player. He seems like a chill dude.
I think you'd have a pretty interesting day, to say the least. Johnny?
Favorite NHL team?
Chicago Blackhawks.
No doubter, because of Patrick Kane.
Because of lots of guys actually. They had a good team. They're not doing this so good this year though. But
Yeah, let's say they stink right now, but when you got Captain Serious on your side, anything can happen.
oh yeah, that's true.
Playoffs are still in sight. JL?
Will I ever get my stick back?
Yeah, you will.
Right after the last game of the year.
I don't know when, but you'll get it back sometime.
Coming up, you know what? We got Mun Cup coming up in a couple of weeks. We're going to start a run up to that. What's your favorite Mun Cup memory?
Well, probably back when I played Adam B. Caroleros, we won that. We won the B-side Mun Cup type thing. I don't know what it's called.
The Carroll Cup, the Lamb and Tang. There's a few of them. King's Cup.
I think it was like Timmins Cup. I don't know. Yeah,
Timmins Cup.
Yeah, and I got MVP for that one.
Fun times. Not afraid to pat himself on the back. I like that. Johnny, Rockets, what you got for him?
White or black tape?
White.
Lovely, lovely. And for any reason? Because you think it blends in with the ice or just good luck?
I just use it. I always have, so I just stuck with it.
He's a goal scorer, not a thinker, not thinking that stuff through. JL, last one.
What did you think after you scored that OT winner?
I didn't think much of it. I was like stunned. It was just a hype moment. I wasn't really thinking that it was gonna go in, but it did, and I was just like, wow, yeah.
Just pretty pumped up. You were saying you didn't really see it go in, but you saw the crowd go nuts. Everybody was going crazy, so you knew it had gone in. Maybe not the crowd because you're on the road, but your team. Did you have a celly?
Oh yeah. So I skated to the bench.
Show us.
I skated to the bench, like towards the Eastman bench. Went down on one knee, pulled the arrow, pulled it back, and pointed. Yeah.
And that's when Johnny had to come out and fight.
The PK Subban. Oh, pretty, yeah. Yeah.
Close to it. Just the last one for you two guys. Did his celly look as cool as he thinks, or was that mostly in his mind?
That was in his mind. It could have been better.
Yeah, it was pretty lame, TBH.
I don't know.
Very last one. How do you like your eggs?
Hard boiled.
Really? All right. Like over easy. Johnny Rockets walk on JL Tagoona, not on the team, but on this interview, and Mikey Baron. It turned into a 3-on-1 right here on the Northstars Show. Episode 13 of the Northstars Show is pretty much in the books. Thanks for joining us. One more reminder. If you find Paul Anderson's keys, tweet at him. At Paul Anderson, he'd really like to get him back. He also forgot the coat, so number 13 was not good. I'm sporting the Oilers Christmas sweater that Murph gave me. I thought I wanted to get that on the show, so this would have been under the coat. He was going to get me a Jets, but they were all out, and Oilers, good Canadian team. Shout out to Wayne Gretzky, and Connor McDavid's kind of okay too. So episode 13 in the books. We're glad to have that behind us. We'll get the camera for all the rest of these episodes. We'll keep it going. Thanks to the guys that ended up being a 3-on-1. So JL Tagoona, Johnny Saunders, and Mikey Baron. Mikey with the great story of using JL's stick for the shootout winner. How great is that?
It's always interesting with those guys, and it was a lot of fun doing that. But again, like you said, all of them have been playing really well for the Northstars lately.
It's been fantastic, and that's just a good hockey story. That's one they're going to tell for a long time, that he grabbed JL's stick and did that. So love to have that one. Shout out to Carter Anderson, who's our Manitoba Games representative on the Bantam hockey team, the U14 team, and Tanner Pilon finally back after 23 games. The guys were super happy to have him back, right?
Well, especially as one of the more senior players on the team, to have that leadership back in the room, and we saw him earlier at a city council meeting this year. He just looked really depressed not to be able to play after he injured himself early on, so to be able to be back on the ice with the guys, I think is a dream come true for him.
Yeah, no, I know that he really wanted to finish out the year, and for a while it looked like he wasn't going to. The word on the street was that he was done for the year and actually had quit the team, and so super nice to have him back.
Oh yeah, and like I said, just have that extra leadership, I think, especially as the team is looking to get better for the years ahead. Having the young guys on here, be able to mentor under that leadership will be invaluable.
It's huge for sure. Guys are headed down south again. They've got another road swing. Sometimes I wonder how they do it. They get back here Sunday in the middle of the night, and then Thursday night they're turning it around again. So they're going down south for 3.
They got Brandon on Friday, and then
Southwest,
and then
right
Parkland,
beside Brandon,
and then Parkland on Sunday.
Parkland and Dauphin on the way home, and that's a really tough third game, sort of like you were talking to Coach Vallance about. Not only is it their third game in 3 days, but it's always physical with Parkland, and they're going to be worn down from sleeping on the bus and all that, so they're going to really have to step up.
Well, and especially with Braden Melstead down for the weekend, having Keane was seen having to play all 3 games, he's going to really have to step up and get in the zone.
Yeah, it's terrible news. Melstead was playing so good, and a little bit of bad luck, and he's out for a couple games. Hopefully we get him back soon. And the only good news with that is that hair up in the stands, fabulous.
Well, that's what you know. When he walks in wearing a hat, you know something's wrong.
Thanks for being here and chipping in, our North Star insider, Stuart Walter. I'm your host, Bruce Krentz. Thanks for joining us. Whole bunch of hockey coming up this weekend, too. We've got Norman Wolves are in town. They had a couple of one win last road swing for them, so they're starting to pick things up just a little bit. We've got the Prince Bershide Pee Wee Tournament, and AA Midgets are here, too. The AA Midgets are great this year.
Well, there's never a dull moment when there's free hockey here.
Yeah, people come on down and see it. Last weekend with the Midget AAs, it was a wild one. Paul was sending me texts like crazy. It was bananas. Go back and check the footage. It was fantastic. You know what? We're going to do this all again in 1 week right here on the Northstars Show.